Good to see your face.
Yeah, it's good to see yours today. Everything that's going on is it's a little crazy out there, but it's good. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Some good change happening and some wild things.
Yeah.
It's good to see everybody else's faces in here too.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining
Every
in.
yes. Once again, this is the I'll let you take it. Issues. Yeah, I know. It's like I don't know if our sync is on
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Our sync is on. I know. I don't know what happens. So should I try to reset it again? Or should we
I
just
think we're
leave it
okay right
5 seconds
now.
off? Huh?
Yeah, I think we're okay right now.
Okay. But there is a delay because
Yep.
you speak, nothing comes out, then it happens. I'm probably getting the same thing on your side. Maybe they're messing with the with
It,
everybody that's coming in. Everybody's being online at the same time.
yeah.
We are. You are. Well, I just had a poor connection. I don't know what's happening, y'all. I got a great connection on my Wi-Fi, but it's there. So hey, so we're kick it off. Kick it off.
So welcome back, you guys. Me and Keith Shockley, we go on every Wednesday. Sorry we missed you guys last week. We just all needed to take all of this in, and we're back. We're real. We're more real than ever. Not like we
Yes.
were real with you guys before. And we're always fundraising for the American Heart Association. All donations from this live show go straight to the American Heart Association. Keith, I know you had a heart attack about a year ago, work and have involvement with the American Heart Association. So if you
Yes.
guys are able to donate, we encourage you to donate. Your donations are much appreciated. And we're here for learning, education, to talk about our commonalities and
And my issues of rant.
you're my driver.
My issues of rant. Like
Yeah, so
my soapbox. No. No, we like I said,
exactly.
we try
This
to
is
talk about
Keith's Soap Opera Box
yes.
channel.
Yeah, so we try to talk about things that that matters. Um we try to encourage her to deal with legislation that's happening, and that's how you change things. But then there's things that happen in me and Kat's profession, as she's as a photographer. You Most of you guys can see from the back, me in the back on it is not a thing that's happening. Am I cutting in and out? Am I good? Um, so if you guys are checking out, there's a lot of issues that are happening that is all to deal with what we're dealing with now. And the reason why I try to talk with a lot of music stuff, because part of big corporations and what we're dealing with, not only just with police brutality, it's how one facet of a I don't know of a business that everybody loves is music. But then we have issues in that, um, as
Yep.
far as race and as far as
Yeah.
um, black life and how black people are treated within the music industry. For some people that might not know, yes, we don't get a fair shake in a lot of this stuff. We have
Yes,
things.
people have kind of been speaking out about this, but it's really kind of hidden and buried. So I would love to know, because you were there. You were
Mhm.
there. You're my Wikipedia and all of this, and you have the facts. They're trying to change the music industry. And by they, I mean the music industry is changing the term urban and redefining that. What is your take on it? How did that term become coins? And let's talk about that. Urban music.
So, I had did a talk and stuff like that about, why y'all don't have a lot of black people working at Google. So I was one with the CEOs and the employees earlier last week of doing, talking to them about, what it is, and everybody wants to know how they can help the black race, but we'll get into that later. But one thing that's happening in the music industry is the term urban. Um, as a hip hop producer coming into the game, you know, that term came about so they can sell more product. Because if y'all know, this is about when I came in, it was called it's rap music. So that's
Yep.
what it is. We rappers that make beats and rhyme over music. So the term rap music. But the problem is with that happen, that term is, as you want to deal with corporate America, that term is not sellable to them. So we had the problem. This is the early generation, not the younger generation. And I mean by early generation, my generation that kind of influenced it being played 24/7, and how we had to start and build this and keep it, make it a valuable business to the point where everybody thought it was a fad, which it wasn't a fad. It's a sustainable life right now. So the term urban was designed to let people know that we don't want to use the term rap music.
Was that offensive to like some people, rap music? And let's kind of go back to the origin of what does the word urban even means. Like it's cities, it's buildings, it's an area. So, like I view New York City as an urban city. I view Los Angeles as an urban city. And then you have the outskirts that are actually suburban. So how did that, like the two and two get married and said, this is urban music? Like, was it a street thing? Was it
No, it's a business thing. It's how do I sell my Mercedes cars that Mercedes don't want a certain group of people buying, but me still make it look cool, because at the time now, rap artists are generating dollars.
yeah.
So it's about how they need to feel and how they need to sell to their people. So this is what is about. This is how white America looked at it. So using the term urban, they feel that it kind of still street, but not as black, because y'all know urban is all the urban cities. Like you said, Manhattan. But the almost make it feel like that's a black thing. It's a black thing, but it's not, it's not. So we're from the suburbs. I'm from the suburbs, and we're making this music. So we're being categorized. And even when I done like public panels and seminars, they felt that because of the music and our message, that we was from the urban part of New York, which would be either the Bronx, Harlem, you want to call it Brooklyn. Brooklyn's part of Long Island, y'all. So if you want to call it like that, they would think that that's where we. Not from there, we're from suburbia. So as a person dealing with suburbia, that we was from the urban part of New York, which was like, y'all living a good life. Y'all ain't got it hard like we have it. Everything is, y'all should just chill. But it wasn't like that. So that term, we knew that it gave a signal when you're selling to advertisers that this is really black music.
Yeah, and I can understand that to some really weird degree. because I work in marketing and advertising, and terminology is completely used wrong, and people are unaware. Now you just turned green, man.
I just turned. What happened, man?
But like
I
people
don't know
are
what happened.
so unaware, and they become tone deaf in the words that they're using. And there's a lot of just this like very like deafness, I would say, within social media. And as I mentioned before, I read the articles on, you know, the music industry wanting to take out urban, and like I'm wondering, what are they going to change it to, first off? And then second off, I'm seeing that a lot of young executives within the industry, no names dropping here, literally stand with pride behind that coined term of urban music. And I'm wondering if there's just a generational gap that happened there, and why are so many people, Black executives and Black artists, proud with urban music as a coined term, versus on the other side.
So the younger executives, I think a lot of them was never told of why it was used.
Proud
So
with urban music as a coined term, versus
it's
on the
going,
other side.
it's 30 years strong. You know what I'm saying? It's a little more than 30. I'm gonna say, as far as it being the younger executive, I'm gonna go as far as it's 40 years strong. So it's 40 years strong. In the beginning, we was fighting for things that the now generation gets as a standard. So once again, when you say urban, and from coming from my perspective, not my perspective, from what we had to go through, being Long Island and coming from the suburbs, urban is a city term. But it got diluted to the point where urban just became, this is Black music. So you can have executive, I'm the head of the urban department. So what does that mean? You're head of the urban department.
I don't know.
I don't
Like,
know either.
I don't quite get it.
I don't know either what it means.
But people have made it acceptable. Like everybody's just accepted it because the
Because
music
you just
industry
accepted
made
it.
them accept it.
Well, it just got marketed that way.
Exactly.
So, as
And I know the
artists,
power of marketing,
yeah.
so I can completely understand how marketing goes astray, and it can get very tone deaf.
And then when the young execs is born into the term urban, where some of us, especially like I said, the suburban cats making records, we kind of took that offense because we're not from the urban world, which is the city, stacked up on top of each other. That's the way we looked at it coming from New York. So even if you're from California, if you're in Compton, it's not an urban area; it's a suburban area. The way the houses are, and you're not stuck on top of each other. So, but when you the last 15.
Any wheel right now.
Oh, you? Or me?
Oh, you're back.
That's
Yeah,
what
you
I'm
keep
looking
on
at coming
turning
from
into
New
the
York.
Apple spinning
So,
wheel for me.
even
The
if you're from
Instagram
California,
spinning wheel. No, it's
if
good.
you're in
Maybe on
Compton,
my end.
yeah, I don't know why my thing is happening this way, but I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on with this shit.
Oh, good. Keep talking. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so within that, when the younger when the younger execs are coming in, who was in the like, you know, early 30s and stuff like that, and stuff like when the younger execs are coming in, who was in the like, you know, what it early 30s and stuff like that, and older guys, when the younger execs are coming in, who was in the like, you know, early 30s and stuff like that, and older guys, when the younger execs are coming in, who was in the like, you know, early 30s and stuff like that, and stuff like that, when the younger execs are coming in, who was in the like, you know, early 30s and stuff like that.
I'll just tell you when you're all good.
So when the younger guys, when the younger execs are in, you coming into a world where it's normal to hear rap music 24 hours, 7 days a week. My generation, it was only on weekends. So we took certain things to heart based upon what we had to fight for, to have rap music, because I'm calling it rap music because it's not urban music, rap music, part of American life, which has already been a part of Black life. So we fought with the labels for those terms, but the labels and radio stations needed to sell advertising. So when you're selling advertisers, it's like, and we got the spinning wheel, y'all. So I'm back again. So when you sell advertisers, Mercedes are coming through saying, we don't like that term rap music because that's too black and too ghetto. Even though urban is kind of associated with ghetto, but the harshness of the word kind of relaxes what white America likes.
Yeah.
Or what the advertisers like.
Yeah.
But like I said, once again, we're coming from the suburbs. I mean, I got relatives. My mom was born in Harlem. I was raised on Long Island.
You're in the suburbs.
Yeah, I wasn't in. We didn't have apartments and everybody's power. Yeah, I'm spinning again.
There was a category called suburban music.
No.
What if they made a category called suburban music? Like what would that music sound like?
It would sound like you hear now. It's like, see, it's the thing with suburban and urban life. We was known as kids that like what it lays into what's happening now. Privilege. So the urban guys, even though they lived in the Bronx or Harlem or Brooklyn, will look at Long Island guys as privileged kids because we had it made, because we had a home, we had a backyard, moms had a car, dad had a car. There was 2 cars in the family and most families. So you don't understand that. We don't understand it because we're like, wait a minute. Let's deal with Black life on Long Island. We are segregated to one side of the island.
And that's like on the way to Fire Island, on the way to the Hamptons as well?
No, that's Long Island. That's the whole Long Island. It's the whole Long Island. So the Hamptons the Hamptons, which all the rich people live at, figured out how to hang out there and
trip there for a moment.
Bought houses and became the party spot. What you had to do. Which is predominantly poor.
Technical issues.
Difficulties?
Yeah, you keep spinning on my end.
So you're missing what I'm saying then.
Completely, man.
You're missing what I'm saying
do you
then.
mind just let's restart the stream?
You want to restart the stream?
Yeah, just see if it's an Instagram. So everybody jump back on.
Some knowledge here. I'm dropping some Long Island Public Enemy.
Yeah, I would love for everybody to hear this too.
Yeah,
Hey,
we do.
let me put on my makeup.
Uh,
Here we go.
there you go.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah,
Hey, it's my little niece there. Hey, I'm good. How you doing today?
it's been a day. I
Yeah,
mean, everything that's going on. It's good to see your face.
yeah. It's good to see yours today. Everything that's going on is it's a little crazy out there, but it's good. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Some good change happening and some wild things, you know.
Yeah,
Um, it's good to see everybody else's faces in here too.
yeah.
Thank you guys for joining in.
Yes. It's kind of deep. Um, Once
And
again,
where
this
I
is the.
am,
I'll let you take it.
and Flash and the
The
Furious
issues.
Five and the Cold Crush Brothers,
Yeah.
Kool Herc, Bambaataa. Y'all know the history. I'm not going to get into it. Holler out to all my homies. So Long Island came in and kind of changed the game with with the Rakims and Eric B's and the Kid and Plays and all that other stuff. So, but the thing was, us from Long Island, I just know me and my crew, we had a problem with saying urban music, and we don't live in an urban environment, and you're terming hip hop urban, which is, I felt a signal. Now, this is my opinion, because some people are like, whoa, the Bronx can sit back and say, well, we started it and it was in the urban. But what do you say to a suburban kid that don't live the urban life saying that we do urban music? So that's that's a that's becomes a conflict. But the labels, I felt, was comfortable with making it urban so they can sell it in a comfortable way to their corporate sponsors or advertisers.
Yeah.
Now, you got to understand, um, when you, like I said, when you're from the suburbs, and then the other thing is how it waters down. I think the term of, now we're not saying rap music anymore. We're
I
saying
mean,
we have rappers.
I would classify sometimes, you know, like the differentiation between rap and hip hop and soul music, definitely. But when it
But
comes to a category with the
but
record labels, it's
there's
been
no
all
difference.
lumped in
Yeah, but they lump it in because that's the best way they
with
know how to
urban
do it.
music, and
But
that's the
the,
easiest
but you
thing
brought
to
up
do.
but you brought up a point when you said hip hop. Once
Okay.
again, this is not, we're, as us old cats, we're just dealing with it because everybody's rocking with it. Hip hop is not music. Hip hop is the culture,
So, yeah.
and everybody confuses it. So now you see on billboards, or if you go on your digital streams, you got people terming it hip hop, rap, and pop.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna even get into pop because you know what that means. That means popular. Doesn't mean white music. They're popular, but they made it white music. So when we dealing with hip hop, that us black kids in low income areas of New York City created, and that was the thing. So we always wanted to term what it really was. I can go back to why we call it breakdancing. That was
Versus
never the term.
B-boys.
There you go. It was called B-boy, which
What
meant
was it? What's a
which
B-boy?
meant which meant Bronx boy or break boy, because we used to dance to the breaks. Well, they used to. Crazy Legs and them would dance and do a special dance to the breaks of records that Bambaataa and Kool Herc and Flash and them was playing, and ran Grand with the theater and all of them. I got a lot of friends, y'all. If my friends are listening, y'all, I got all your covered, all right? I got to remember, it's a short thing. So that was the thing. Somebody termed it breakdancing, which think I was corrected, was somebody from Europe, because they didn't understand the terminology of b-boy. Now b-boy seems really black because you could put the black on it and call it black boy.
Right.
So it has a
Easy to
lot of
do.
connotations that you can take it. But B-boy actually meant Bronx boy because the breakdancing is and the culture was birthed in the Bronx. So when we have that, and then now you call it breakdancing, now you're watering it down for commercial and advertisers and the white audience that don't understand what the word b-boy meant. So now we go
Yeah.
into the urban world. So now you have the urban department in the record labels and that's mainly urban department meant black music. Didn't
Hmm.
mean white music, meant black
Yeah.
music. So
Makes sense.
now it don't make sense.
Well,
It's
no,
the
no, no,
reason
no. What you're
why
saying
it don't
makes
make sense.
sense in the sense that it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, okay,
You know
for
what I'm
some people,
saying?
let me clear that up to you for everybody. When I
Yes.
said it don't make sense, when we say once again, I say urban, that means Manhattan, the Bronx, because they're in the concrete jungles. All right, they're living on top of each other. So urban is now you signifying what you're not signifying. You're giving a connotation to urban where people forget white kids in Manhattan, they live, that's urban. That's still urban.
Mhm.
But when you're dealing it in music, you're making it black. So now you're kind of you're kind of putting a stigma on the situation.
What's the
On the
kind of
situation.
like you talk? I know you're like East Coast. Like I'm on the West Coast, and it's really cool to like cross paths like digitally. And every time you're out here, like we get to see each other. But obviously, there's like different styles, I guess, of black music, and correct me if I'm wrong, from the East Coast and West Coast. So with LA, there's a lot of different styles of rap, let's say, that came out of LA due to the culture in Los Angeles and how spread out it is. And, you know, Los Angeles, you would say it's an urban city, but there's so many suburban areas. Like, what is it like whenever music comes out of Compton? You know, it just still goes into the urban category, but we still consider that rap, right?
Rap
Because
is
hip hop is a
rap.
culture, but then
Yeah.
there's the differentiation of like the East Coast style and the West Coast
No,
style.
that's just what
That's
that
just
is.
style.
No, that's just a different way of life. That's all. It's
Yeah.
not a different style. It's like New Yorkers have a faster talk. Y'all still talking to me. I can talk real fast. LA
Go.
don't really talk as fast. So and then LA has a different dialect or a different accent. So it's never really rap is one. It's never really one style. It's how you sound. It's rap music. It's what it is. Rap is supposed to differentiate singing from rapping.
Yeah.
That's all it was. You know, it comes from the term of back in the days in the late '60s, coming into the '70s. They used to say on the street, "Hey, let me rap to you, my brother," because you're talking with a conversation. So from then we started taking y'all know the history. You started taking that and then putting that on music. It's still rapping because we don't sing. Today the lines are blurred.
Yeah.
It's blurred. So these are the things that's happening. So now you done blurred everything. So now what happens is the reason why you're going to take the term urban out of the whole situation is because it's meant for blacks. So it's a signal. So when an advertiser comes and say like, hey, this was when we was coming up. Now everybody got used to it because they've been trained that way.
Mm.
Hey, this is an urban station.
Yeah.
Not a pop station, it's an urban station. Your signal is, oh, this is where all the black people listen to the music at. Not like now. Now we're all mixed into each other. But this was in the beginning. So now it's like they're going back to the beginning and figuring out like, well, we shouldn't have done that in
What
the
do we
first
do
place.
wrong?
But
Yeah.
you're fucked up already now because you done taught a culture and taught a whole life that it means this now.
So it seems like Republic
Now,
Records
why you
is
gonna
really
take
trying to change the term. Is there any insight from you of what you want the black music
There-
to be called just black music,
no,
or
it's
what,
not. It's not.
or
No,
to change it,
no.
or what
It's
is
just
going to be the change?
it's rap. If you
It's
talk
just
about
rap.
rappers, you're talking about rappers. It's rap music.
Yeah.
And it was already there. Never didn't need to change. But when you
Back
say
to the
rap
roots.
music, once again, y'all, to an advertiser, it meant black people. So that's the problem. That's the problem that's happening. So when
But rap
when you
music still, like, you got like Eminem rapping, and he's white.
you
So what
got the
happens
green screen
there?
again.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a it's. I'm not gonna get into that
Okay.
because
Okay.
that's the whole nother category.
Yeah.
Because
It's a whole different talk show.
I'm gonna touch on a little bit. Rap music now has raised a new culture and raised new kids. So it's not about Eminem being white. Some of my older cats might argue with me with that. It's not about Eminem being right. It's about Eminem was born, grew up in a culture from his younghood, from his young age, that this is what they was doing. He grew up in that. So, but it's different when I was coming up because this was treated as a fad. White kids didn't grow up in black culture.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
That's why-
It kind of piques my interest there too, because Russia has a lot of rap music, and there's all these like Russian rappers now, and in Moscow, there's a whole different culture, and I'm just wondering if there was like a grab from the American rap
Of course,
culture,
of
black
course,
music,
Cat,
and then
of
it
course.
got adapted.
Yeah,
but there was some
no,
kind of
listen.
commonality there too with the culture
No,
and
hold on.
upbringings as well.
Hold on,
Like,
Cat. No.
All right.
No commonality. This is black culture. We're going hardcore. Black culture. We as early rappers would come to Moscow and rhyme
No.
in concerts. There's no commonality. You got it from everybody around the planet, got it from black culture.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no commonality. It's just that they gravitated to it and
Yeah.
they loved it. So
Of course.
that's the difference. So
And
it
the
wasn't-
Swedish people love it too. Like Sweden
everybody,
loves.
listen,
Everybody loves it.
everybody
So,
loves the culture. So let's
Yeah.
be straight. Hip hop culture is the number one culture on the planet. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. You ain't debating me. Nobody can debate me on that. So what happens is when you come from a place of that, and you come from with terminologies, now the labels are like, well, maybe that was wrong. But for almost 40 years, y'all made it cool. So what happened was we accepted that. We just accepted that because, hey, it is what it is. We can't control how the labels and the radio stations at the time before the digital platform, the radio stations at the time was making their money.
Yeah.
Because as they're making their money, we get our licenses and copyrights and our publishing royalties.
So
that's a whole nother game.
Is there something that everybody can do in order to like reach out to the record labels, push back from urban music to change it back to what it originally is, rap music? Like, is there any course of action everybody can take?
And this is the
change?
actions. This is the actions of white record owners feeling guilty about what they did. There's no course of action.
Oh, right. So they're trying to change the game.
But hold on. The only action that's going to happen, Kat, the only action that's going to happen is the younger ones was bred into that, calling it urban. So you got the younger executive saying, well, this is all we knew.
Exactly. They grew into it.
Of walking and promoting this is urban music. But when you get an old motherfucker like me, who's been around, who was there from the beginning, who had to fight for some of the things that the younger generations is doing today, I don't care. But at the same time, at that time when we was doing it, I had a problem with it because like you signal us out. You're not making it about the music. You're making it about they did the urban. They made it about who did it, Now it's just normal now. So I don't
Hmm.
know if people are making a push towards it because it just became a thing. But I just want everybody to know the real story of it when it happens, because they no young person can deny me of what it is because I was there. So I just want everybody to
Thank
know
you
the
for
real
enlightening
story.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want everybody to
Um,
know the real story of why it happened and
yeah,
what
because
made it go
there's a lot
down.
of articles I've looked on, a few articles that I've looked on the internet, and I like to be educated and keep up with the industry. But, you know, what the news tells us compared to you, my Wikipedia tells me is completely different. And I'm seeing like two different, you know, like worlds kind of happening out there to where some people are really accepting the term, standing behind it. But now you just educated me and anybody else that's listening that didn't know that, well, those executives and producers or, you know, the people in the boardroom are young. They didn't know. And they just had to accept it because it was a marketing term. It's an advertising term that just was able to sell. Now, has there been like an inequality with the urban music category compared to something that is like country music category?
Yeah, at the time you
Like as
well,
far as royalties or anything else like that?
there I don't know if there's there are levels of it. And once again, being in the music industry, everybody gets their ass handed to them, unless you
Yeah.
become one of the people that have become so powerful and so popular that you're going to get what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
There's stories from all sides of this,
Yeah.
of people telling me, man, David Geffen said something. This is this is an old fact, y'all. David Geffen said this about the Eagles. And if anybody knows history, look up the Eagles with Don Henley and all them was in there. He said the music industry would be great if the artist would just shut the fuck up. Now that ain't about black. That's about money. So we have that. We have bad rates. We have uh bad situation um that deals in rights. But we ain't gonna get into that because that's a musician issue
Yeah.
where where for an artist to see for an artist to there's a quick note for you guys. For an artist to see the money that an average person worked at Spotify makes, an artist have to get 285 million streams. And I think that's on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. Who gets that?
So
Besides the
wait, I
superstar.
have an idea though. If we start listening to more rap music right now with what's going on right now to be able to support Black artists and Black Lives Matter, we should all be getting on our Pandoras, our Spotifys, our YouTubes, and just streaming that while we sleep, while we eat, while we shit. That way, does that help?
Um no, because if people have Pandora for free, they're not paying for the subscriptions.
No, I pay for
But
my subscription for Pandora.
the advertiser kicks in for the subscriptions. But you got to understand, there's a world out there that don't do that. That don't pay for that. I mean,
Well,
it's
how
not
can
about.
I be an
Well, hold on.
ally, I guess,
Listen,
and help
this is
Black
a
artists as
situation.
well with my paid subscription to Pandora? Can I leave it on overnight and listen to rap
I,
music? And will that make any change or impact?
I'm not. I don't know. I'm not a.
Okay,
I don't
just
work the
asking.
algorithms. I don't work the algorithms. I don't know. So I'm
Just trying
still.
to figure things
I'm
out.
still. I'm still new to the streaming. Like I'm still under trying to still under like everybody else still understand how the streaming works. But what it is it's not about the black music. It was basically on the turn, and our music will do what it do. The terms of how we are treated and how things are looked, how we are sectioned out. It's like it's now they're starting to just let rappers because we're in the digital age be termed pop. Now what you would never see at the Grammys. Well, I haven't seen because I kind of, I'm part of the Grammys and I deal with them and try to vote and I try to vote for shit and I sit there argue with them like, how the fuck this record get nominated? And nobody ever heard this shit, and I know people haven't heard it because I do my surveys. But
Right.
when you have the pop music division or the pop music category, you barely see blacks. Because the term pop meant white music, which is the wrong thing. It's supposed to be the popular song.
Speaking of a popular song, I revisited Childish Gambino's "This Is America," and there's this line in there to where he's like, "Grandma told me, like, get your money."
Get your money.
Grandma told me, get your money, get paid. Like, it's somewhere along that line. And it's just kind of like wild because this is America. Because Grandma told me to get your money.
Yeah.
And she's told Grandma, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Or am I like just reading into the song too much? Is it just like
I think you're reading into the
cool
song too much because America's is about get your money.
Well, yeah, that's true.
It's about get your money. Everybody,
especially as an artist, right?
As Black life, we have different ways. It's a bigger struggle for us to go about to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that means. So it doesn't have nothing to do with things. Like I said, my whole thing with this topic tonight was about getting a term that's been used that the earlier rappers didn't like, as opposed to it became normal. Now we're in this situation where black people are coming to the table. Black Lives Matter. White people are dealing with like, now we finally see what's happening in New York. So now they want to start changing terms that we was trying to have changed terms when we was rocking in there, because we knew the signal. We knew how they if they heard the music, especially with some of the rappers, they wouldn't know. But then now, this is urban music. So
when are we? Is there like an industry insight of when we're like expecting this change and shift to happen, and it like black music being called rap again compared to
I don't know
urban
what they're
music?
gonna call it. First of all, I don't know what they're gonna call it. I just know that they was removing the term urban, and they said nothing else.
Yeah, I meant
the term urban. Okay, so maybe this is the discussion that most of the rappers and artists that are signed to the labels or that know the record exec. So what do you want to call it now?
Any ideas? Anybody in the room got any ideas?
It depends. Wait, hold on. It depends. It's urban music is now kind of like R&B music is cashed into it. Rap music is cashed into it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got two styles of music being called one, and then you're trying to figure out what do you call this?
I think we should put Keith Urban in there. That'll be real weird.
Keith, he needs to change his name.
He needs to change his last name. Well, it's just his last name. He's like
Keith Urban
so
don't
country.
make urban music.
Sorry. I mean, I got a really good laugh.
That was a joke.
And man, I get you. And it's like, you were talking about Black Lives Matter, and I posted on my story because I got a really good, like, insight and laugh at the same time today too, because like everybody that has been protesting on the streets and really speaking actively with their voices too, it was really well said by this comedian. Black Lives Matter. Like, we're just saying it matters. It matters.
Yeah.
Just matters.
Yeah.
Black lives just matter. Not asking for that much. Just matter. And like, it's just, And it's really frustrating too, because like a lot of activation, I'm going to touch really lightly with this on social media and how like things are getting coins and turned, because I think there's some misinformation that's happening, because I see a lot of young white people especially going out and protesting, and I think that is really great, to stand in the alliance and really fight for what should have happened a long time ago. Let's not forget. But now change is happening, and I'm seeing some change, and I'm really happy to see that. But on the flip side, in social media, what I'm seeing is that silence is violence. So there are people that I know that are having a hard time understanding that messaging. And now that we're talking about messaging, can you kind of explain what that is supposed to really say? Because a lot of people don't know what to say right now and don't know how to support. So they're just going blank and not speaking out.
That's a situation where people silence is violent. Sometimes it's for certain people to speak up, and then sometimes it's for other people to listen. So when you say silence is, when black people say silence is violent, that's not directed for white people to say that. It's directed toward black people, like, hey, speak up. You have a huge platform. Somebody that have a huge platform, and it's just about understanding what you're changing. So if you have a huge platform, it becomes a situation where I think, now these are my interpretations. When people say silence is violent, I take it from a perspective of, if you're black and you have a big platform, you're not, if some of y'all are not saying anything, then say, that's violence. You're not speaking up. I am speaking to corporations, and they hitting me up to do Zooms with their stuff. So how do they fix, or how do they deal with deal with black people? So I'm like, it's crazy that I'm doing this in 2020, and you don't know, because everybody's on the same plane of not work. Most people on the same plane of not working. Or put it this way, they're not going out.
Yeah.
You can't social hang out except if you're protesting. So with that is, if you say that to a black person, like, hey man, don't sit there and be silent. That's just as violent. Like you think it's cool. And there's a thing that we have to have these conversations and talk.
Keith,
This is a talking situation. So I'm not into,
I have a question. Where's Oprah?
I don't know.
Where is Oprah?
I don't hang out with her.
No, but like, where's Oprah? I haven't heard her voice, and like, black people, white people, like everybody listens to Oprah. Like, is she in a bunker hiding? Like,
no, I'm not gonna get into that.
I don't know, but like, it bothers me. It's like she has such a great loud voice, but
what you gotta do is hit up Oprah, because I'm not. She knows what she's supposed to do if you don't see us. She knows what she's supposed to do. And what happens is she has a big platform.
Yeah.
But if you have a huge platform, people, I'm saying, my old schoolers, see, some of us old schoolers, we're looking at, this is I'll give you a quick perspective. I know I'm going in today. Some of my old schoolers, and I look at it this way, this is not for me. When I mean by not for me, not for my generation, and let me clear that up. My fucking generation is old and stupid and don't understand shit. They're stuck in their motherfucking ways. So they need to get the fuck out of here. The younger ones understand. Because y'all the ones are the tech savvy dudes. Y'all can sit around and call out a lie because they got Instagrams. You're crazy on the text. You're organized on your social platform, and it becomes a situation of,
I decided to not dealing with some of the older people that are stuck in their ways.
Yeah.
And that's on black and white. I don't give a shit. I
Yeah.
know the younger
Okay.
kids are growing up. My daughter is 15. She's looking at this shit like, yo, there's issues that's going to happen with her. And I'm gonna move a little out of it. Fucking global warming.
Mhm.
That's an issue. So I'll probably be dead before the polar caps melt, but it might melt in my grandkids' lifetime.
Yeah.
Her, the 15-year-old.
Yeah.
So that's a motherfucking problem. So it ain't
So
about
let's put a bunch of let's put a
listen, I want
bunch
my
of
people to
like
know this.
conscious
No,
15-year-olds in the
hold on.
boardroom.
No, hold on. Nah. There's an issue here that mostly everybody has been raised on a black president that I thought I would never see in my lifetime. That's what they understand. It's what the younger generation, you guys and the millennials, y'all understand that because y'all had that. My generation had to fight to get that. That just happened for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So when things happen and becomes natural, y'all don't, it's now it's a new way. You've been raised on, my people that's listening, this ain't about racial, but I'm just telling you what it is. Been raised on one of the greatest golf players in the history of golf.
Tiger Woods.
Been raised by one of the baddest and two sisters in tennis history. These are sports icons. Kobe died, united a world.
Yeah.
That's black history. So that's not for us. That's for the younger guys, man. Because we know what Kobe did. It's for the younger ones that don't see the shit that we see and like, and I can even deal with my Bloods and Crips. You a Crip, you a Blood, we going at the war. But that's still dissension amongst us. So now we're in a zone where hip hop culture has united so many countries. That's why everybody around the country, I'm not around the country.
And that's
around
really
the
cool.
world is protesting.
And that's really cool because
of the hip hop culture.
Yes.
Because and anybody that's can sit around and say like, hey, we don't want white people in there and but I'll tell you one thing. To my black brothers that came up in the protest with me and my crew and everything, and my black sisters, and when you say there's no room for white culture, let me give you an eye-opening experience. When you get booked for a festival and they're paying you dollars so you can pay your rent or pay your kids' tuition, most of the kids at the they hear us, some of us, and even our younger ones that are consciously driven, talks about in their music. So this is why I say it's for them. They got a different perspective about how it goes.
Yeah.
So my culture, my generation that ain't trying to get on or trying to understand that, you just need to sit to the side and pass away. And that's coming from me. And that's how I feel. Just sit aside and pass away. Because some of y'all ain't changing your motherfucking thoughts. Y'all gonna stay the way you are, and it's not about that. It's about my young ones, my daughter and my nieces and all of my younger cousins. It's what they see. They see shit differently. They don't see it the way we do. We had to fight, to shit. I mean, I'm going into sports. Let's take the NFL. Colin Kaepernick, oh, you're right. We were sorry. but he was the most hated man on the planet through white corporations
Mhm.
because he just said it's about police brutality, and then when a white his Marine officer had a conversation, sat down with Colin, they talked about it, and it was him that suggested that Colin take a knee. So they didn't even care about the white Marine officer that told Colin what to do, and Colin said, "Okay, I'll do that." And we got that shit. They making it seem like he said this is what the man told him to do, and he listened to him. So this is where we at. But this is what our young ones see.
That was
That's why
that,
you
that
on the
was
front
really
line.
loaded, but every right to be loaded. So
I'm just here
yeah,
to spread the word. I'm here to spread the
absolutely,
word
and
and
we
to talk
appreciate
about
that.
from a perspective that a lot of
Yeah.
people miss.
Yeah.
And when I made it about my black artists and black rappers, and like there's no place for the white culture in here. Let's see who's at your next gig. Or who books you for that next gig, not that little change money, but that big change money. Let's see who books you for that. Which is, we all rocking with Live Nation. And who owns that? They probably ain't gonna never fuck with me after saying stupid shit like this. And I couldn't say stupid shit, saying what it is.
So I feel like that is a really big what the fuck of the day of the week for you. And I know we got to roll out because we've been on here for an hour. I'm going to tell you about
I wasn't drinking.
I'm going to tell you about my what the fuck of the day. And tell me you guys like your thoughts. I got asked to shoot potentially the mayor of LA, Eric Garcetti. So, not sure how I feel about that yet. I know that there has been change that's been made. There has been less money that has been allocated to the LAPD. Is trying. It's hard. But yeah, that was my what the fuck of the day. So I got to sleep on that, think on that. I am happy to see that the change that is happening. Thank you, everybody who has been protesting and standing up and speaking your voices. Keith, thank you for having this conversation with me
I got
weekly. And
I got a crazy what
yeah,
the fuck.
tell me.
So my what the fuck of the day is them goddamn Democrats. So the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi, and all of them go to pay respect for George Floyd.
Okay.
Now here's a what the fuck. I get it. I'm with them. They're paying their respect to George Floyd. But them motherfuckers wore an African scarf. That enraged the African community because that's not what that scarf meant. There's a lady that was online talking about that. See, this is a big problem. You're looking at it as a solidarity for black people in America, but you're pissing off our African heritage. That when the people from Africa are saying, yo, that's some stupid shit. What are you doing? This is the shit. That's a what the fuck. And once again, Nancy Pelosi, you just disregarded black people. If you say we're from African descent, and y'all know that, I'm just making a hypothetical statement that's like crazy. If you're saying we're from Africa and we're African American, and you thought that's what we would expect, here's a problem with this. Black people in America is disconnected from Africa. There's no going back to our homeland because we don't know nothing about it anymore. Africans don't even deal with us like the way we're supposed to be dealt with. That's the fucking problem. So when you do that stupid shit, then you
Go
just
pick up a
disrespect
history
us.
book,
You just
everybody.
disrespect us again
Yeah.
without somebody saying that you need to somebody didn't pull their coattail like, I don't think you should do that shit. That's not cool. But they thought that's what we would like to see. That ain't
Well,
shit. That
you
ain't
know,
nothing about nothing.
I think
That's
there
what we
should
like
be
to see.
a whole like funded. Well, no, this is just totally a joke, by the way. But with the industry shifting, there's going to be people that are like COVID moderators on like large productions and sets. So maybe there should be
No,
Black
no,
Lives
there's no,
Matters
no,
moderators.
no joke.
I'm joking
There
with you.
should be none of
I
that.
said it was a
None
joke.
of that. This is fucking common sense.
Yeah,
Somebody
a
should
lot
say
of
like,
people
no,
don't
you
have it.
shouldn't wear that. Almost one more story of what the fuck.
All right, keep it coming.
One more, y'all, then I'm out of here.
Last one,
um,
and then we're out.
so we know that the Harriet Tubman movie was was supposed to be being made and stuff like that. But a lot of people might not know that it was in production for 26 years back in 1994. Now I saw this on the young lady I really adored, Tamron Hall. She said when they was doing the Harriet, it was a white girl that was telling the story of what happened in the boardroom of the Harriet Tubman production. So everybody was white. There was, I think it was like 94 this happened. And there was one black guy in the boardroom and they was talking about Harriet Tubman. So this is what I'm saying. This is why I'm equating this to Nancy Pelosi and them. One white person said, well, why don't we get Julia Roberts to play Harriet Tubman? Now this is, you go to Tamron Hall, and I think she had the lady on in November before we came into quarantine. The problem was motherfuckers didn't flinch to saying like that was wrong. It took the one black guy, which is always have to be, to look at them like, I know you're not serious. And they was dead serious. But there was nobody in there with a common sense other than the black guy, which is we understand. No white person didn't say like, yo, man, that's stupid. Same
Well,
shit with the Nancy Pelosi shit.
turn 2012. There's a show that has been really great called Hollywood, and it's on Netflix. And it's the same storyline of that, where there's a black script writer, and once the executives find out that he's black, they want to like defund the film, and the director fights for the black screenwriter, and the director's white, and they're stuck in between, like, basically, is it a white girl that should play this role or the black girl? And it really comes down to who's better at the role as an actress, not seeing color. And it was not appropriate for a black female to fill that part, but they still did it anyway. So
But what I'm saying to you, Kat,
no, but that's the thing.
yeah,
But
no,
then
the
that was
difference
like
is,
the flip side with the
no, that's
Netflix
not even
Hollywood
the flip.
one.
What I talked about, that's not a flip side. You want Julia Roberts, a white girl, to play a black woman that was big part of our fucking heritage. That's ridiculous. You can't even
I absolutely agree.
to a situation. What I'm saying is there was people in the room that thought it was cool.
Yeah. And I absolutely agree. What's interesting about the show Hollywood is that the black woman who was the actress in there kept on getting put into the parts that where she was the maid and things like that. And she was like a background extra. But now she was able to get the opportunity, and this was taking place in a setting of like the 70s or something. I got a fact check on this. But she got the opportunity to play like the better role because she was the better actress. But everybody had to fight for that.
But
in unity.
But what
But yeah,
I'm talking
that
about, yeah,
the
but
Julia
what I'm talking
Roberts
about, Kat,
doesn't
you
make
gotta
sense.
understand one thing, Kat. You gotta understand one thing. What I'm talking about, that's not you're asking a white woman to play one of our biggest leaders.
Yeah,
As Africans say, that
it
has
makes
nothing to,
no
that has
sense. I
nothing
know,
to
I
do,
was going
and
like
that has nothing to
this.
do with somebody was whether somebody was good for the but but that leaves a fucked up taste with us when you
Yeah.
like you wouldn't have Denzel Washington play John F. Kennedy.
Yeah, weird.
You wouldn't.
No,
Nobody would think about doing that shit. That
unless
wouldn't
it
even
was a
come up.
cartoon and he did his voiceover?
No, that wouldn't even happen either.
Probably not.
No, it won't.
Just go into extremes here.
Yeah, no, there's no extremes. You're like, you would never get that.
Yeah,
So those are
I
the
get
things.
you.
Those are the things I'm saying. And when we get that all the time with us.
Mhm.
We get that all the time with us. We
Yeah.
get Charlton Heston playing and Elizabeth, if my history is correct, playing Cleopatra, and everybody knows Cleopatra was black. Then you got Elizabeth Berkley playing it. Who gives a fuck?
Well,
Where they don't know, but this is because that's an old time, because we don't have control over Hollywood. Never did.
you heard it
Now,
from the one
now,
and only
now, yes, now you
Wikipedia of
can't.
Keith Shockley.
Yes, I'm not a Wikipedia, but now you can't do that shit because we have technology that destroys all that shit that they can say.
Mm.
And the young kids knows this shit, so they go and say, "This is not what that film says. This is not what that film says." So those are the things that I like to talk about and address, and that's the things I address when I deal with when I'm talking to corporations that's trying to figure out how to deal with black people. I lay it out on the line. We ain't mad. We just want y'all to just fucking be smart. Like, don't say the stupid shit. Like now, like I said, you want to get rid of urban music after 40 years of yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
We do.
let me put on my makeup.
There
Here we go.
you go.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Hey, it's my little niece there. Hey, I'm good. How you doing today?
It's been a day. I
Yeah.
mean, everything that's going on. It's good to see your face.
Yeah, it's good to see yours today. Everything that's going on is it's a little crazy out there, but it's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Some good change happening and some wild things, you know.
Yeah.
It's good to see everybody else's faces in here too.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining in.
Yes. Once again, you know, this is the I'll let you take it. Issues. Yeah.
Hey,
We do.
let me put on my makeup.
Uh,
Here we go.
there you go.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Hey, it's my little niece there. Hey, I'm good. How you doing today?
It's been a day. I
Yeah.
mean, everything that's going on. It's good to see your face.
Yeah, it's good to see yours today. Everything that's going on is it's a little crazy out there, but it's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Some good change happening and some wild things, you know.
Yeah.
It's good to see everybody else's faces in here too.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining in.
Yes. Once again, you know, this is the I'll let you take it. Issues. Yeah, I know. It's like I don't know if our sync is on
Oh
right.
yeah.
Our sync is on. I know. I don't know what
Yeah.
happens. So should I try to reset it again? Or should we
I
just
think we're
leave it
okay right
5 seconds
now.
off? Huh?
Yeah. I think we're okay right now.
Okay. But there is a delay because
Yep.
you speak, nothing comes out, then it happens. I'm probably getting the same thing on your side. Maybe they're messing with
It,
everybody that's coming in. Everybody's being online at the same time.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.